Welcome to Val's Kitchen. I'm Val, and this is my kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to make dough and use that dough for an Italian bread. I'm going to show you in future episodes how you can use this dough for pizza, stromboli, calzones, rolls. You're going to love this dough. Now, you do need to have a KitchenAid mixer or a bread machine to use this recipe. And if you don't have either, I would suggest to go get yourself a cheap bread machine. I have had one for years and I've never cooked in it. I've just used it to make the dough. And it will make your life so much easier. And your family is gonna love all the different things you can do with that dough. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I like to use the KitchenAid, but if you have a bread machine, that will work also. And you just put it on the dough cycle. What I like to do with the KitchenAid is put the hot water, as hot as it will go, just to warm up the bowl because it's really cold. Probably because I keep the house really cold. So I like to warm it up just a little. I'm gonna dump that water out. Then we're gonna put some cold water into your measuring cup. We're gonna need 7 ounces of cold water in the microwave for 20 seconds. That'll get it warm enough for the dough. You don't want it ice cold, you don't want it really hot. 20 seconds seems to be the magic number. I'm gonna dump the hot water from the bowl. It's already warmed it up. It was ice cold before. All right, so we're gonna pour the water into the bowl. And then we're going to add our sugar. Usually I don't measure. Let's see, It's gonna be 2 tablespoons of sugar to the water. Today I'm using bread flour. I don't always use bread flour, but it seems to work better with the KitchenAid. If I'm using the bread machine, unbleached flour works just fine. So I'm not sure why, but this works perfectly for me. I measure 4 half cups, making it 2 cups of flour. But you don't want to straighten it out and even out the flour. You want it to be a little bit rounded. So I'm gonna put 2 cups of flour over the water, which is actually 4 of these measuring cups. Then you put a well into the flour, just a little well like that. And that's where we're gonna put the salt and the yeast. So I use about a half a tablespoon of salt. Of course, I got my pink Himalayan salt as my favorite. I put that down into the well first. Just put it right in there. Then I take my bread machine instant yeast. This seems to work the best for this recipe. And I use 2 teaspoons. Again, I don't normally measure it. It's not like it has to be that accurate because it usually works out fine. And you put that over the salt. Then I use extra virgin olive oil. And I know it sounds like a lot, but olive oil is healthy. It's good for you. I use a 1/4 cup of olive oil and I pour it down the side. Don't let it touch the yeast. Run that in. Then we're gonna take it over. All right, I've got the dough paddle on the KitchenAid. Just go ahead and lock it in. Put it down. I'm gonna start it at 1 because I don't want the flour to poof everywhere. So I started off slowly just to get that flour mixed in. Now I'm moving it up to 2. Flour is kind of getting in there. So now I'm mixing it on 2 for about 10 minutes. But I do want to check it in about 1 or 2 minutes just to make sure enough flour has been added to it, or sometimes I might need a little bit more olive oil. We'll see. I think it depends on the weather sometimes. All right, I'm just going to stop it quick. I'm going to lift it up so you can see it. I'm checking this to see if I need more flour or olive oil, and it's just a little bit sticky, so I don't need any more flour. And I would only need olive oil if it was really dry. And it's gonna run for 10 minutes. And that's it for our dough. All right, so the dough is done. I'm gonna turn it off. And you're gonna see how it sticks to the dough hook like that. That's okay. This is actually gonna be the one I put in the fridge for tomorrow. So I put a little bit of olive oil in a gallon-sized bag. And what I like to do is put my hand in it because I'm gonna need it to get the dough out of the bowl. So I got a little bit of olive oil on my hand, scoop it off like that. Having the olive oil on my hand helps so that the dough won't stick to me. So we're gonna pull it out. So I gotta put some olive oil on the other hand. And what I like to do is work it into a nice ball, because right now it doesn't look like much of anything. Take it and kind of turn it under. I'm gonna get a little more olive oil on my other hand. Okay, put it on here and kind of roll the edges under like this. See how you just work it like that and it starts getting, look how smooth that is. It's so pretty. And this is what you would do the night before. Makes your life so much easier. Come home from work, take the bag out, put it on the counter for about an hour, and you'll be ready to work with it. Be wetty. All right, and I put it in here, make sure the olive oil gets all over the dough, zip it up, and it's ready for the fridge. So I have my dough that was made last night. I'm gonna pull it out. So I'm gonna pull it out, try to stretch it a little on this pan. I wanna make it into, I guess, like a rectangle or an oval. And I keep flipping it just to be able to work it. I don't wanna make a hole in it, which it won't matter if you get a hole in it, because this is an Italian bread. So I'm stretching it. I want it to be a long Italian bread. I'm gonna make it from one corner to the other. So that's why I can get it as long as I can. Then what I do is just roll it. This helps the texture of the Italian bread. When you cut it, it's gonna be so light and fluffy, it's delicious. Okay, so that's about the size it'll be, but I'm gonna stretch it more later. It's gonna rest a little. Gonna take a tea towel, place it over. Remember, a tea towel is a towel that won't have any lint on it. It's just a thin cotton towel. So I'm gonna go ahead and place that over the pan. Let it rest for maybe 10, 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes. I'm gonna take a look at it and we'll see. All right, I think we're ready to put the egg wash and the sesame seeds on it. Just take an egg. Just a little bit of water. And a little bit more. There we go, I'm just gonna beat that up. You don't have to do it. You don't have to beat it a lot, just a little bit. And take your brush and cover the dough. Oh, this is looking nice. Everyone always loves the Italian bread. All right, so make sure it's all covered well. I get my sesame seeds at the health food store. I like the toasted sesame seeds. They just taste so much better than the white ones. And I'm gonna sprinkle them on top. But then, what I like to do is put it alongside the edge, because I like a thick layer underneath. It gives it some crunch. And I'll show you how I get that on the bottom. All right, now lift it up and push into the sesame seeds. You can see how they're, oh, it's gonna be a nice thick layer on the bottom. Oh yeah. It really makes a difference. It makes your Italian bread nice and crunchy. And there we go, it's beautiful. There's gonna be some seeds that don't go on. It's on the pan, it's fine. Just kind of press these in. Okay. Put your tea towel back on. I would let it rise another 10 minutes or so, and then you're gonna put it in the oven. Be back in a minute. All right, I think think it's ready to put in the oven. You can even wait till it gets even higher than this. We're in a rush. We want to eat. So I'm putting it in. It'll be great. Put it on the lower rack of your oven, 350 degrees. And it should take about 20 to 25 minutes, depends on your oven. I'm gonna take a look at it at 15, see how it's looking, and I'll show you. I want it to be brown on top, and when you tap the top, you want it to sound hollow, not solid. It has a different, I don't know if you'll be able to hear that, but we'll try it. All right, so we're at 20 minutes. I wanted you to take a look. I feel like it still needs a couple more minutes. So I'm gonna pat it. I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes. So it's gonna take the full 25 minutes this time. All right, see you in 5 minutes. For Italian bread, spread a little olive oil onto a cookie sheet. Take dough out of fridge and work back into a ball. Then place on the cookie sheet and cover with a tea towel. Let sit for 30 to 45 minutes. Then stretch the dough and roll into a tight log. Beat an egg with 1 teaspoon of water. Spread the egg mixture over the dough, then sprinkle with sesame seed and push the seeds lightly into the dough. Let rise another 30 minutes, covered with a tea towel. Cook at 350 degrees on the lower rack in the oven until the top is brown, about 20 to 25 minutes. Hey guys, thanks for coming to my kitchen. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. If there's anything you'd like us to feature, go ahead and let us know in the comments. I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry. I'll see you next time on Val's Kitchen.